All right, so a really big night for Giancarlo Stanton last night. 4 hits, a big-time home run to right field, and best of all, this. So how fun have these last few days been to watch baseball? My God, the Yankees have just destroyed the Blue Jays in this last series, and you could kind of tell that it was going to happen, right? Because they put up 20 runs in Game 1 of the series, and they exhausted the Blue Jays bullpen. So the Blue Jays basically had nobody to go to when the Yankees would start to rally over the next 2 days, and that allows you to just kind of tack on a bunch of runs. One pitcher gives up 5 home runs in an inning. Usually that wouldn't be allowed to happen. Usually after the 3rd home run, you would think at least you'd get him out of there. But hey, that's baseball. The Yankees completely dominated that series, and they're all swinging the bat good at the same time. Now, that does happen, right? You get guys where the entire group can meld together and go on a really hot streak. We've seen this happen before. The Indians a few years ago had a situation like this where they won 22 straight games. Now, I'm not saying the Yankees are going to win 20-something straight games. That is probably not going to happen. That's very rare. But you've got the same type of situation where everybody's feeding off of each other, right? And it makes the team red hot. The only downside is when that happens, you can kind of get ice cold very quickly. We know what happened to that Indians team. The Yankees beat them in the playoffs. They also lost, I think, 2 or 3 in a row after that win streak ended. We've seen that happen with the Rockies in 2007. Down the stretch to get into the World Series, they swept the Division Series and the NLCS, and I think they won like 19 out of 20 of their last regular season games. So going into the World Series, I think they had won 26 out of 27. I may have the numbers kind of wrong, so correct me if I am, but it was something like that. And then they got swept by the Red Sox in the World Series. So you can get red hot, but if everybody cools off at the same time, you can also, get ice cold in a hurry. So let's just hope that the Yankees can keep this hot streak going as long as they can, keep as many guys hot as they can. I like what they're doing where they're kind of staggering Judge and Stanton in, to maybe not put so much stress on these guys' legs. That can maybe keep them fresher down the stretch. And look, if those 2 guys are in the lineup and hitting, and you've got Luke Voit hitting, this lineup is impossible to pitch to. I mean, who are you going to pitch to? You going to pitch to DJ LeMahieu, who's hitting 370? You going to pitch to Gary Sanchez, who's dangerous when he runs into one? You going to pitch to Gio Urshela? He's one of the better hitters in the league when he gets hot. I mean, there's no place to land once everybody's hitting. That's what makes this lineup so dangerous. And the pitching is good enough that most nights they're going to keep you in the game. You don't see the Yankees get blown out a lot because they do have a strong bullpen that they can go to. You see them occasionally blow big leads when the bullpen doesn't have it. But most of the time, the Yankees don't get blown out 20-6 or whatever. It will happen occasionally, but not very often. And so as long as the Yankees can get decent pitching, I'm talking 3 to 4 runs, and they have their lineup swinging the bat the way they have been over the last few days, I mean, I don't see anybody who can stop them. But it will be interesting once we get to the postseason to see, how teams use their pen against the Yankees. You might see if the Yankees do face off against the Rays, you might see the Rays try and bullpen it a bit because the Yankees have had difficulty with that. The Twins are the Yankees' current likely playoff matchup. Now, I know that the Twins have been basically dominated by the Yankees in the postseason, but as they said on the broadcast, eventually, that's going to change. So you just hope that it's not this year. You hope every year when the Yankees play the Twins that this is not the year. But I do like the Yankees matching up against the Twins because they have similar styles, but the Yankees have better players. They're both home run teams that hunt fastballs, that hunt mistakes. And the Yankees just have better players to do it with, and the Yankees have better pitching. The Yankees have Garrett Cole. I know that the Twins have some decent pitchers. They've even got Mike Pineda. I'm not sure if he's pitching well this year. I haven't looked at his numbers, but I feel like the Yankees are still a better team than the Twins in that matchup. The Twins do have the benefit of being a little bit of an upstart team. That can be that can bring a lot of energy. We saw what happened in 2017 with the Yankees, where they came one game away from the World Series. They were kind of an upstart team, a team on the rise, whereas the Yankees are the favorites and they're expected to win. So, sometimes that can work against you, but, if the Yankees are playing the Twins, I'm taking the Yankees. I'm sorry. If it's a 3-game series, it's important to win game 1. You've got Garrett Cole on the mound, and then I like the Yankees' possibility to just win one of the next 2 because Garrett Cole is going to beat the Twins. Okay, so there's a bit of a debate over who should be the American League MVP this year. Tim Anderson seems to be a lot of people's top choice. He's got a 2.1 wins above replacement for the White Sox. He's a great shortstop. He's hitting .365 with 8 home runs and 19 RBIs, 41 runs scored, 166 OPS plus, so he's 66% better than the average hitter in the American League. Very, very nice season for Tim Anderson. And the White Sox are having a nice season. They're the top seed at this point, I believe, at least last time I checked. But, in my opinion, he's not my MVP. DJ LeMahieu is having a much better season. I'll get to him in a second. Luke Voit obviously leading the league in home runs. He's got 20 home runs. He's got 46 RBIs. He's got an OPS over 1,000. But Luke Voit is not as dynamic of a defensive player as either Tim Anderson or DJ LeMahieu. And DJ LeMahieu is having just an outstanding season. He's leading the Yankees with a 2.7 wins above replacement. He's got a .373 batting average, 10 home runs, 23 RBIs. So he's beating Tim Anderson in all 3 of those categories. And look, without DJ LeMahieu, the Yankees hit their low point in this season. They did nothing. In fact, I don't think they won a single game without DJ LeMahieu in the lineup. I could be wrong about that, but I think while he was on the injured list at least, the Yankees went over. Because as someone says in the comments, I think his name is Greg Libby, DJ LeMahieu is the catalyst for this team. As DJ goes, so go the Yankees. So he's one guy we cannot afford to lose down the stretch. Obviously, you want him to win the MVP, but his health is going to be the most important thing. We cannot afford to have him get hurt again. So I hope that the Yankees do give him at least a couple of days off before the postseason starts, because we need him at full strength, or else the Yankees are screwed. But, I mean, you got to say that Luke Voit's also having an outstanding year. He's probably going to have a career high in home runs despite this being a 60-game season. I mean, think about that. This guy is on pace for nearly 60 home runs over a full regular season. That's the kind of year he's having. That's the kind of hitter he's become. And the Yankees got him for peanuts. It was Chasen Shreve and Giovanni Gallegos to St. Louis for Luke Voit. Gallegos became a pretty good reliever. Shreve is now with the Mets, looking like he should be slinging meth on Breaking Bad. But look, Luke Voit's having a great year. Nothing away from him. It's just that first base is less of an important defensive position, less of a defensive skill position than a middle infielder like Tim Anderson or like DJ LeMahieu. And DJ's been playing some third base when guys are out. He can play second base. He can fill in at first base if you need. He is an outstanding player all around. There's been some talk about what kind of contract he should get. I mean, imagine if he wins the MVP. He almost won the MVP last year. He probably should have, in my opinion. But if he can win it this year and maybe carry the Yankees to a title, you can see him getting a $100 million contract. Whereas a couple years ago when the Yankees signed him, most people were like, what? Why are they signing another second baseman? We got Gleyber Torres. The plan was for DJ LeMahieu to be the kind of the utility guy, kind of the guy who plays every day, just not at a set position and not on opening day. But he's turned into a stud second baseman for the Yankees. And I can see that the Yankees will absolutely do everything they can to sign him. They're not going to give him $300 million, obviously, but he's going to get 5 years. He's probably going to get $100+ million, and I think he'll take it. I think it could go higher than that because other teams will want to get in on the bidding for this guy because of the type of player he has become. And so they might run up the bidding on the Yankees at the very least. But either way, the Yankees got to bring him back no matter what it costs. All right, final thing today. The Yankees head to Boston. I don't think we've been in Fenway yet this year. But with the team hitting as hot as it is right now and going to a park that yields runs as much as Fenway does, not just home runs over the monster, but doubles, things like that, those big, strange gaps, you could see the Yankees absolutely destroying the Red Sox this weekend. Now, I'm not predicting that that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to settle back down to earth because I don't think the Red Sox bullpen is as blown out as the Jays is. But if the Yankees can get a big win tonight, you could see this being another massive series offensively for the Yankees. I will be back after the game tonight with highlights and analysis. See you then. Hey guys, help support the podcast by buying swag from my store. Link is in the description.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps YouTube suggest this channel to other Yankees fans.